his mind is like a steel trap. Nothing gets in or out. Today I'll be informing you about my dad, Chris Condon. To start, he has lived a very adventurous life. We have spent a lot of time together over the past several years. And finally, my dad has been highly instrumental in basically the development of who I've become. Let's see, as I said before, my dad has lived a very adventurous life. But during his youth, he didn't have the best ideas. When he was a child, he and his brother wanted to go down a hill on their bikes. It seems harmless, but they wanted to go no hands. Needless to say, someone got hurt, and it wasn't my dad. And if you ever met him and he came up, he would say he was a saint in high school, like we are now. But his friends say otherwise, and they've actually offered to tell me stories, and my dad curses them to this day. With all things, he grew up and became much more responsible. Today he works at Hand Security Services, and he's received a couple of promotions over the years. I don't know what for though. Nothing's in it but working, but and he's also a responsible driver. Never got into a car crash, although he did get 2 speeding tickets several years ago. My dad's adventurous and caring spirit brings me on to my next topic, the time we spent together. A major part of the time we spend together are summers when we go to various parts of the country, including Wisconsin and South Dakota. In Wisconsin, we went to Wisconsin Dells, and my dad kind of made me into a daredevil of sorts, where we tried out all the best water slides and rides and all that I never would have considered going on before. And then later in South Dakota, we hiked throughout the Badlands into Mount Rushmore, and we were able to bond because there's a lot of time that you have during hiking, and it's also very tedious if you have nothing to talk about. 2 other very memorable moments that my dad has been there for me for was when I got bit by a dog and when I got my tonsils taken out several years ago. It was many years ago when I was bitten by the dog. It was my neighbor's dog, and to be honest, it was very, very scary. And because of my dad's constant reassuring and constant attentiveness and the close-by health products, I was able to get through with no blindness, nothing but a bad memory and a scar. And for the tonsils, it was a very, like when you're a child, any medical procedure kind of seems scary, but he's my rock throughout the entire thing, so that was helpful. And finally, my dad has he's always been there for me, and that kind of plays into how he has played a major role in my life. When I was young, he always used to tell me to do my best at everything I can do, and because of that, I constantly strive for like the best at everything I do regarding all activities. But unfortunately, that kind of brings competition in, and that can be good or bad depending on the situation. And also, years ago, my mother divorced my dad, and because of my geographic separation from my mom, my dad and I became much closer, and he's the one that made a lot of impressions on me, including the good and sometimes the bad. And because of how I saw him struggle as a single parent, I gained a whole new respect for struggle and life as a whole. And basically, my dad has been playing a major role in my life. In recapitulation, my dad has had a very eventful life. He and I have bonded over several vacations and trips, along with the other memorable moments I mentioned. And he's been highly influential in the development of who I've become today. Now you know more about my dad, and hopefully tonight when you go home, you'll look more an appreciative look at your parents because they truly do a lot for us.